And from there, we'll see. I don't stick to TBRs because I feel like that's really restricting myself. I don't stick to, I have to read this book before I can move on. Alright, today's going to be a bit of a different video since I told you guys that this entire bookshelf is full of books that I've never read before. I wanted to give you a little tour of it. There are 3 categories. The gifted, which were given to me. The free finds, which were like from little libraries or free books from the actual library or stuff like that. And books I bought myself. So you guys are kind of on a weird system. You're on my desk chair that's piled with a bunch of pillows to try and make this work, so I hope the angle's okay. Starting with the bottom, we have No Time for Mercy. This was a library find, but it was a cheap library find. It was only 50 cents, I believe, so that goes in the bought category. The same day, I found Walking the Dead, and I've been trying to get away from fantasy some, so I've been buying like more mystery, more romance, more historical stuff, because I feel like fantasy is just starting to become more of the same, so I wanted to branch out and do other things. So I got this. That also goes in the bot. Conform, this is a dystopian, apparently. I got this a while ago. This also goes in the bot category. I got this from my aunt, along with the second one, which I am currently in the middle of reading, A House of Sky and Breath. I'm reading that one. I'm reading 2 books at the same time. For some reason, I keep picking up and putting down A House of Sky and Breath. I don't know why. I just feel like I don't need to rush it. So that's the second book of this. My aunt got me all 3 of those, so that goes in the gifted category. Then I have Art of War by Sun Tzu and other stories. This one hasn't even been opened yet. My aunt got me this one. I'm just a little nervous to open this because it is such a nice copy, and I don't want to ruin it by reading it, but what's the point of getting a book if you don't read it? Then I really liked the Two Twisted Crowns duology. I loved the magic system behind it. I loved the story, and so I was really excited when she announced The Night and the Moth, so I got this one. I think it's going to be another duology. We'll see. This one was a little library find. It's called Ghostly, and it's a bunch of different ghost stories, which I probably would read this more around Halloween, or if I'm just in the mood for a horror book or something along those lines. Then I got The Clockmaker's Daughter because I kept hearing such good things about this in the booktube space, and so I wanted to give it a try, but I just haven't picked it up yet because I have other books that I want to read before that. Then I read the first 3 to this series, The King of Sloth. The first 3 were gifted to me, and then I bought this one. Then I thought this cover was beautiful, and it's Violet Made of Thorns. I got this at a little mom and pop bookshop. This is one of the ones I'm going to read pretty soon, I think. This one was upside down on my shelf for some reason. Girl in Pieces was a little library find. It sounds like a murder mystery type deal. I'm excited for it. The next one was also a little library find, and it's called Green and Bearded. Sounds like a ridiculously cheesy, fun romance. I'm down for it. The next one was a little pretty Bible that I got. Do I need another Bible? Probably not, but it was pretty. And this one actually has readable sized letters, so I got this one. Then this one was gifted to me. It's about a horse. It's called Joey, and I think it's based on a true story. I can't remember what my grandma said. The next one was also given to me by a family member, and it's a little water damaged because apparently it was sitting on a plant and watering it went wrong. So this is Things We Never Got Over. I've heard it's really spicy. I hope not too spicy. Then I got The Light in the Window. This was given to me by my grandma. I think it's like a mystery type deal, and it seems very interesting. This next one I honestly have had so long that I can't remember if I was gifted it or if I bought it or what, but it's gone for good. Supposedly it's about this guy who is said to have committed murder. He disappears only to show up years later to try and clear his name, I think is the setting by this one. Let's move on to my mess of a second shelf up here. Starting with these, they're little mystery books. I got Shielding the Innocent Target, Cold Case Tracker, and Uncovering Colorado Secrets. These were all given to me by my grandma. And then there's the Beach Reads Bookshop. This was a little library find. Crescent City, I already told you, was given to me by my aunt. And I'm a good chunk of the way into it, but for some reason I keep putting this one down and picking it back up. This one, The Fifth Wave, was a free find at the library. They had a bunch of books to get rid of, so they had them out for free for anybody to take. I've been wanting to read this book, so it's cool that I was able to find it for free. This is just a notebook because I daily journal. Then we have Fruits Basket 1 through 3. I want to get this entire series before I start reading this because I know I like Fruits Basket because I've talked about it for a while. A friend of mine in high school just randomly put her copy of the first book on my desk and then said that she wanted me to keep it because I reminded her of the main character. So I read the book and I want to continue this series and I want to own all this series, which this would be the first manga series that I ever wanted to have all of the books to, because I feel like a lot of manga series are far too long. Like, I don't want this whole entire shelf taken up by one series. That's crazy. This is Tricks. It looks thick, but it's like barely filling the pages. It's like a mystery type deal or something like that. And I got this at the same mom and pop shop I got the other books. Angels Fall. I've never heard of this book. I'm not sure what it's about. I got this one from my grandma as well. Also from my grandma is 100 Summers. Again, not really sure what this is about. Also from my grandma is The Housemaid. I've heard so much about The Housemaid, and apparently now there's either a show or a movie. I'm not sure which. Haven't looked into that because I don't like Googling things before I read the book or watch the movie, because then one of them is going to get spoiled, or both of them, so I just avoid Google altogether if I'm looking forward to watching a movie or reading a book. Then we have Spectacle. I bought the other two books on my Nook because I didn't realize when we were at the library when we went there that this is the second book, not the first book, so I bought the other two on my Nook. Then there's A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I watched the movie first with my brother, and neither one of us enjoyed the movie very well, so it's kind of killed my want to read this book, because the movie was not a very good movie, but I'm still holding on to this because I'm hoping the book is better than the movie. Should not have watched the movie before reading the book, but now I really don't want to read this. The Green Kingdom, I heard good things about this, and it's a short little read for when I get tired of big novels. I can have a little book to just cleanse my palate of big novels. I got this at the bookstore. This was a 50 cents library find, and I had not heard anything about this book until after I brought it home. And I heard it's really good. And that's exactly what I was looking for when I went to the library, was a book that I hadn't heard of, because I just wanted something that hadn't been talked about. The Love Hypothesis, this I bought, and apparently the lady at Barnes & Noble really liked this series, because she's like, you should read it in this order, this order, this order. It's really good. I think unless I really like it, I'm just going to stick with this one. Then again, I was on my tired of fantasy kick, which I still kind of am, and I bought this, Murder at Holly House. My Nook recommended it to me one day, and I'm like, you know what? We're at Barnes & Noble. I'm just going to pick it up and see if it's good. This is one of the ones I want to read soon. This one was gifted to me by my aunt. We had a girls' day together and we were talking about the books we were currently reading. And it was when I was reading The Wager, which is another book about ships. And she was telling me, well, if you liked The Wager, you would like Endurance. So she went and bought it for me. And I can't wait to read it because I really did enjoy the Wager. House of Shadow and Bone. I was told by a friend that I should read this before reading the Crooked Kingdom duology because it just helps it make more sense. So I got all 3 of those at the same time because my aunt, out of nowhere one day, got me the Crooked Kingdom duology. And finally, the Not Much shelf at the top. That's all there is at the top. There's The Winter Sea. Apparently it's about a tribe crossing the sea and what that entails. This was gifted to me by my grandma. Then I have the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I have been trying to get into this series for years, so I bought these at Barnes & Noble. And I want to try to read them, but every time I'm like, I should read those books. I'm like, but I don't want to read those books. The time will come for these books at some point, especially now that I'm putting myself on a book getting ban until I do read some of the ones that I have. But I just haven't wanted to pick this series up, and I don't know why. And last but not least, it's Nora Roberts' The Key trilogy. All of these were like 50 cents to $1. So I read her Nora Roberts Year 1 a couple years ago, and her fantasy is interesting, but I feel like she skipped all of the predicaments in Year 1. Like there was a part in Year 1 where they were on a raid and that trouble started, and you would think that we would see how they resolve it. But we completely skipped that just to have the main character tell us what happened after it happened. So I hope it's not like that in this book. But I did like the rest of Year 1. I just didn't like how she was so quick to skip the conflict. And the book that I'm reading, which I took a bit of a break from reading because I got a library book, so I wanted to finish it before the due date, is See You Yesterday. I have 90 some pages left. This book is so good. I'm a sucker for time loop stories, and even more of a sucker for a time loop story where 2 people are trapped in there together and they have to figure a way out, because so far it seems like there's no way out for them. But that is all of my to be read books, which I hope I can get through some before getting more books. But the book that I'm currently reading, I'm going to finish this. I'm going to finish House of Sky and Breath. Then I'm going to try to read the final one to this series. And from there, we'll see. I don't stick to TBRs because I feel like that's really restricting myself. I don't stick to, I have to read this book before I can move on. I don't make a list and then be like, okay, this is my list. I got to stick to it to a T. I just feel like that takes a bit of the fun out of the reading, so I kind of play it by ear. I'm like, I want to read this. No, I want to read that. No, I want to read this. I have book commitment issues. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little bit of a different video, and I hope to see you next time.